This is a podcast from BBC Radio 1.
So here we are, man. A Sirius Satellite Radio Network in a radio studio. I think this belongs to Bruce, cousin Brucey. That's right. And we're here in New York.
Big up to cousin Brucey.
Big up Brucey right now. The reason we're here in New York City is to catch up with one of rap's biggest fans and one of rap's biggest rappers. And I have to say, it's good to see you again. Thanks for giving us some time.
I wish I could say the same for you. It's okay to see you again, but it's all right.
So this book, Eminem, The Way I Am, it's not your first foray into the publishing business. There was the Angry Blonde book, which is kind of more of a behind-the-scenes look at the lyrics, the inspiration behind the lyrics for your songs and stuff.
I've wrote many books. I actually wrote the dictionary.
Did you?
Yeah.
The dictionary. Right. This book here, The Way I Am, is more of it's like a more personal trip through your journey.
It's like a personal glimpse into the journey,
into the inside,
into the career and the mindset of.
Is that a personal glimpse into the inside?
Yeah, that actually is a personal glimpse. That's about as personal as I get right there, buddy. So why don't you take your eyes off that right now and stop looking at it, because that's my personal own. That's my own thoughts.
That's just for you right there. Terrifying to think that's what's going on in your head right there. There's about 1 billion words all on the same page, and people will get a chance to see that when they see the book. But what I love about this book, Em, is the fact that it's like the ultimate scrapbook for fans too, and it's not just you just kind of giving people the insight and your own thoughts and your feelings about your journey so far, but also there's lots of cool archive material in there. There's the original lyric sheets, and there's flyers and shots of demo tapes and cool Polaroids and stuff like that. So in a way, this must have been really good fun for you to go through all the old bags and literally clean out your closet.
I mean, it was years of like collecting, just collecting memorabilia or whatever, and just saying like, I wonder one day will I use this, and finally got a chance to use it, basically. It was just a bunch of stuff that was stacking up at my house, in my office, like, just it's like, wow, I wonder if one day I'll get a chance to do something with it. But this was the perfect thing to do it with, I think. There
must have been some funny moments too, some moments where you had a laugh at yourself when you picked out some Polaroids and like, I completely forgot I wore that jumpsuit.
I don't know about the jumpsuit, but like the training bras and the panties and that's.
Yeah, no, there's a good one there, and what I like about that particular suit there with the artwork that you've done. Did you do that artwork yourself?
Oh yeah, I used to fabric paint on pants.
Everyone used to do that. I remember when I was coming up and into rap music as well. The hottest thing at the time was getting like T-shirts with your own picture on it or whatever, and done by a local graffiti artist or whatever. That was like it.
Oh yeah.
Did you used to sell that stuff as well? Didn't you? In the book it says you used to kind of.
I think there's a flyer in there that I actually drew myself. And. Maybe I think I made copies at the school printer or something like that, and just cut them out myself and would pass them around the neighborhood, And sometimes I started getting like orders, and like people wanted like stuff done by me, and it started to get like where it was like, whoa, I need to calm down, because if I had 2 or 3 things to do in a week, it would like swamp me, because I'd have to go up to A.O. Price at the corner. It was a little drugstore or whatever, and the little bottles of fabric paint, I would steal them until they put the detectors up or whatever, and I couldn't really do it anymore. But they used to be real easy to swipe, but they were like $3-4 a piece. So I used to just take those, and it's the statute of limitations is up, by the way, on that, so I can't get in trouble. But
you're clear.
No, I mean that's basically how I would do it. Then I would go back to my house and just paint.
At the time you're working these jobs, trying to pay your rent, trying to put food on the table, but at the same time you know where you want to be. I think it was age 11 that your uncle Ronnie played you your first rap song, and at 14 you said that it was when you decided you wanted to contribute and you wanted to make it your life.
Yeah, at 14 is when I wrote my first like rap song.
Yeah.
It sounded like LL Cool J, like it sounded like I'm Bad or something like that.
The thing that comes out in this book, which I love, one of the really sort of big observations is that throughout is that you are to this day and always have been rap's biggest fan. That you threw yourself into every aspect of it, whether you breakdancing like you point out in the book, you go and hang out and dance or whatever, or you do some drawing, but also as a rapper you just listened so keenly to rappers and you really admired other rappers. What was that feeling like when you first discovered rap music?
Well, I remember specifically when I was in the 6th grade, there were these kids, James, Freddie, and I forget the other guy's name. 3 kids who taught me how to break dance. And we used to go into the library. I'm not sure if I wrote it in the book. If I didn't, I'm gonna say it anyways. There was these 3 kids that taught me how to break dance, and we used to go after school in the library, and the librarian would let us like throw cardboard down and like, you know, do stuff. And this dude Freddie was out cold, man. He was crazy with it. But I picked up little moves like that. My Uncle Ronnie started teaching me, like, you know, how to break dance or whatever. And we lived in these apartment complexes and stuff when I was 12, 13. And we used to walk around with cardboard and, like, put it down in the park and just, you know, walk around with the radio on our shoulders, you know, that whole thing. And, man, it was fun. It was like an outlet for me that I never had, you know. Because I liked, you know, growing up, I think, you know, Prince, Michael Jackson, like stuff like that, but it wasn't anything to like identify with and say, this is what I want to do.
How you doing, brothers and sisters? We are the heavyweight kings, so rock. Giving no soft pity MCs no slack. And when you thought it was safe to be an MC, busted!
I sort of felt when I discovered it, man, that it was like, this is mine. This isn't my older brother's, or this isn't my friend's. They don't get it. This is specifically mine.
Yeah, and it was like, it was one of them things too, when you were a kid, like, it was yours, you know, and it was like, nobody around you really could have it. If people started catching on, you didn't, like, when people caught on to the Fat Boys, I didn't like them no more. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anything bad about the Fat Boys. I love the Fat Boys.
Someone had to do
but
it.
Just when Crushin' came out, it was like, it wasn't that it was a good album. It wasn't that it wasn't a good album. It was that everybody knew who they were. So it was like, oh, I got to find me some more underground shit. You know what I mean? So it was like, and, you know, that's kind of how underground kids do today. You know, it's like, that's the way they want it. If you get, you know, it's the way the game is basically in general. If you get too big, you know, people usually want to move on to the next thing.
2 rappers that were really instrumental to you that obviously had big success and were able to retain some credibility with it and be cool with it were LL, you've talked about. And, you know, we've all heard and seen on YouTube, you know, when you caught up and pranked LL, which was hilarious.
Shade 45, man. We gonna take another call. Who's this?
Yo, this is Jason, man.
All right, Jay, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Miami.
What's up, baby?
You know, I've been a diehard LL fan, you know, since the first album. And I just want to know if I could play like a little name that tune kind of thing with LL, you know, if I like rap some of his lyrics and see if, you know, if he can guess what song they're from.
Woo, man. Boy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Try it. Go ahead. I'll try. I'll play the game with you. Why not?
All right, check it out. I write rhymes that shine like lipstick. So much material, but not materialistic.
Yo, that was crazy. That's Eat 'em Up. Eat 'em Up L. Yeah, that was crazy.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I got one more for you.
All right, let's do it.
I got a song I wrote myself. Can I drop a little something?
Yeah. Let's hear it. All right, go ahead. Let's hear your joint.
All right, cool. This is one I wrote myself. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. This bomb.
All right, man. I love it, B.
Ladies and
All right,
gentlemen,
man.
Marshall Mathers on the phone, CEO Shade 45.
There was some very good LL Cool J impersonating going on there.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't really good with the disguising my voice. I was like, how am I gonna? If I talk like this, he's gonna know who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was trying to find out, like, just trying to make my voice deeper, just to be able to get into it, because I thought he might.
Well, when you see that it's you, like, because obviously it's Eminem pranks LL Cool J, you can work it out. But for him, being in the studio, he didn't sound like he had any idea who it was. Didn't sound like he had any idea who it was even initially when you dropped it. And then he was like, oh, okay. Because it took him a second with Lose Yourself to work out that it was you. I thought that was hilarious. But there was also the Beastie Boys, and I know you read in the book. To me, the way you described your feelings about the Beastie Boys and License to Ill on that tour, that was almost like your punk rock moment. You know, like in punk rock, when kids see, when bands sort of Sex Pistols do it or the Clash do it, they're like, I can do it. It's not out of my reach.
When I saw the Beastie Boys, I remember I was sleeping on a couch somewhere. I think I was at one of my mother's boyfriend's houses or something at the time, and I seen the video come on TV, and I was like, holy shit.